Welcome back, Strawberry Jam on Toast. As your outsider friend, I'm here to make you smarter, wiser, more friendly, more yummy and scrumptious. Fair launch, fair distribution, the people, decentralization. We throw around these buzzwords because they sound cool. Humans, if you're a human, confirm our friendship in this comment section below. Humans, we have two sides to us. We have the side where we really think we're the top doo-doo. We're like, whoa, I'm going to crush everyone. I'm going to show everyone I'm the leader. I'm the alpha. I'm going to take control. We have that side. And then we also have the duality of man, which is the sheep side. Submission. We follow. We respect other people. Even if you are a leader in one aspect, you're going to be a follower somewhere. For example, we're all in crypto. Most people, are you going to go really make your decisions about the medical industry yourself? Like if you needed heart surgery, are you going to say, no, that's it. I want it done this way. You're going to cry like a little girl in the doctor's office going, whatever you do, open me up, start fixing me. That's exactly what you're going to do. So you've gone from a super powerful alpha male in your mind to like a weeping little girl. You're like, oh man, just do whatever, please, please. You're the smart one. The duality of man. This is very interesting. What I'm doing, I'm trying to prepare you not to get scammed in the next crypto bull market. They often say investing is all about psychology. I don't like to talk about psychology too much just because the grifters talk about psychology all the time. And they do that because they don't have a strategy to talk about. And because they don't have a strategy, they got to fill up the space with something else. People without a strategy, they want to be told, yes, if you just believe it, you can win. No, doesn't work like that. In crypto, everyone's trying to make your money, trying to take your money, and everyone's doing financial engineering and experimentation. The upside is huge. So I want you to know, if the answer to pumping a coin, community, or chain was to make it decentralized and fair on day one, ask yourself this: why hasn't a single coin done it yet? And I've got the answer here for you. It's because it doesn't work, but they'll keep trying. The coin, the chain, the community, whatever it is, it must start off centralized, and then the power must be handed out over time. And here I made this cute little meme for you. And here are my favorite core coins: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, HEX, PulseX, PulseChain, PoorPleb. You have to understand this. Why do you have to understand it? What I'm doing is I'm trying to educate you. You are my friend. Like, subscribe, bell button all. You want to know how to think like a professional peanut brain. You need balls of steel and ovaries of steel to have the conviction to hold no matter what the government throws at you, no matter what color the candle is for this month, for Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever it is. Crypto's going up, down, left, right. They want to ban it, unban it. Russia's going to ban us. China's going to ban us for the 15th time. Doesn't matter. You need the conviction to hold. But also, if you're going to be in the faster vehicles, you have to understand why your vehicle, your crypto investment, why it's going up. And also why it will have limitations in the future. You got to understand this. There are different words and narratives that will be thrown your way. So I've said to you here, if the answer to pumping a coin, any crypto, it was to make it decentralized and fair, why hasn't a single coin done it? This is probably going to shock you. There are many coins out there. You think, what the hell? How the hell is this true? Because I know this sounds bad, right? The duality of man. You think that the answer to all our problems is decentralization and making everything fair, but it's actually not. You can actually take this approach in society as well. Is the answer to society, let's just go get the government treasury money and just distribute it to everybody equally? Everybody gets an equal welfare? Is that the answer? The answer is no. No, it's not like that. We've got to live in a society where not everything can be split. There's got to be rules and parameters. And it's not because the powerful people want it that way. It's actually because that's the way it works. You already know this. Well, it's the same thing in crypto. And we don't have a government with the invisible hand setting the rules. We saw the experiment over and over again. You're probably focusing on Bitcoin right now. You think, if what Somi's saying is true, and he is my friend, which I am, and he's got a straight back right now, which I do, and he's wearing fluffy slippers, which I am, if this is all true, then how come Bitcoin went up? This is where it's going to shock you, right? So you sit down. Sit down 5 seconds. And you could stand up if you were standing up while listening to me. So look at this. Even great nations. All great nations started with a monarch, which is a king, or they had an ultimate power leader. And then the power leader handed it out to the people. This is important. You probably don't think it's important. You probably think it was just a natural evolution. It's fascinating why this works. USA, I think it was it George Washington? A lot of these times, the powerful leader comes, the people put them on the pedestal. They go, you are the altar. You can have an infinite amount of terms. And then the powerful leader says, no, I will now hand it off to the people. That is actually really important. And you wouldn't think that actually applies to the strategy for our crypto bags to pump. You think, how the hell does that have any relevance? Well, it has a lot of relevance. This is something I've noticed. You're not going to learn this in a book. You're not going to learn from any other influencer. I'm here to show you this is important. You got to know this because you're going to see buzzwords thrown at you. They're going to come your way because your bags are going to start going up somewhere in the future. Bitcoin, Ethereum pumping. We're going to go through the Bitcoin halvening. And they're going to tempt you to rotate a bit of your money. And it starts with a bit and then it ends up with a lot. And before you know it, you haven't made anything in the cycle. So we've got to avoid that. But you avoid that by planning now. Satoshi owned 100% of the Bitcoin at the start. If you look at the supply schedule for Bitcoin, he had 100% of the coins at the start. They said it was a fair launch. Yeah, whatever. He had 5 people. He had a million coins. He still got a million BTC. After the second year, he had about 30%. In the third year, he's got about 20%. So after the third year, there were about 5 million Bitcoin. He's got a million, 20%. That's huge. Think about it. For a world currency fair launch, for one guy or girl or pet duck named Greg, one person to have 20% of all the money, that's huge, man. That's huge. Now, they didn't know it was going to really take off. There were a lot of risks. But just to show you, we only look back now and say, oh, this was the Immaculate Conception. And the Bitcoin Maxis use this term, the Immaculate Conception. You know, we'll never be able to repeat this again. But I want you to know, even Bitcoin had to go through this. It's just that we had no industry to even measure it. So, yes, he had 20% of all the coins. You had to trust Lord Satoshi. And here I have this cute American Wojak. Shout out to all the Yanks out there. So, what about Ethereum? Often called JP Morgan coin. So, you know, Ethereum is going to be more centralized. Ethereum is more centralized. And it's probably going to flip Bitcoin. Very high chance of that happening. So, Ethereum had 40% pre-mine. This is why the Bitcoin Maxis go nuts, by the way. Because it's all a scale. So, Bitcoin Maxis, see, Satoshi in second or third years, he only had like 20% of the coins. by the time 2015 hit, I think Satoshi only had like 13% of the coins. So then, this is what the Bitcoin Maxis are saying. They would say, oh, you're giving yourself 40%? That's 3 times more than what Satoshi has. Therefore, you're greedy. But it's all a scale. It doesn't really matter. You know this now. We can only look back to the benefit of hindsight and the lessons of history. So Ethereum, wildly successful, more centralized, moves faster. It's going to flip BTC. However, other examples. You know, the most successful stocks all got there because of a leader who took total control. Bill Gates, total control of Microsoft. Elon Musk, total control of Tesla. Jeff Bezos, total control of Amazon. Stevie Jobs, total control of Apple. Stevie Jobs was fired by the company, and then they had to rehire him, and they gave him like more power. They're like, oh man, you got something good. One of the greatest turnaround stories in all of American history, actually of all time. The Apple story. Every single major company. You already know this intuitively. You go, well, this is obvious, but how come when it comes to crypto, people disconnect from this? It's because of the price movement. I'm telling you right now. Because the price goes up, it's very easy. Because the prices go up so wild and people aren't experienced, you can throw any reason to somebody observing the price going up. Inexperienced investors and speculators and people, if you throw a big fat green candle in someone's face, like you're looking at it right now, there's a big fat green candle on your forehead right now. I can say to you, you know why that big fat green candle's on your forehead right now? It's because we are a fair, decentralized crypto. We are for the community, by the community. There is no leader. We are doing things different. You're going to believe that just because the candle is green. And then after the inevitable one season, so you do have a one season pump, of course. Everything goes up. JPEGs went up in the last crypto bull market. Useless JPEGs. Eventually it dies and you realize, crap, you would have got fooled again. You always have to trust the leader. With Bitcoin, you had to trust Satoshi didn't dump it to zero and kill the network effect at the start. With Ethereum, you had to trust that Vitalik does not actually reveal to the world that he's an extraterrestrial being because his brain could barely fit in his skull. You just got to pray like, hey man, just like don't tell anyone the real secrets. Ethereum Foundation, 40% pre-mine. You have to trust that. Remember how I started this video. You have the duality of man and woman. On one side, we want to be leaders and in control. But the yin and yang, the other side is we have to take certain, you have to accept that we're just going to be complete, total submission in some parts of life. It's a pretty good example, that medical industry, right? You can see the biggest, most toughest guys like, I want to eat life by the balls. Send them to the surgeon who says, all right, if I don't operate on you, look at your wife and kids, you're not going to see them in 6 months. You got a tumor inside of you. You're going to get on the operating table and you better pray to God. You will see them cry like you've never seen anything before. So this is part of human nature. This is us, humans. We can lead and we can follow. But in crypto, we are gathering in circles and crowds as monkeys in the jungle, eating our bananas while sitting up with a straight posture on the monkey branch. And because we're taking power, in our view, from the banks and all the people who have all the power, we forget that, you do need leaders. You do need founders. They are important. You do need CEOs, entrepreneurs. There are gifted people out there with visions. The distribution of IQs out there, it's true. Right? It's very true. Think about this. Everybody with 100 and less gets the same say in a democracy as everyone with over 100. So think about that. Are you going to spend 50 hours a week trying to convince the super smart giga brain to vote for you, or you're just going to spend 15 minutes saying, vote for me, I'll give you a pizza coupon, and I'll give you a public holiday. Everyone's going to vote for you. But if you're running a business, do you want to give 50% control to these people on the left-hand side? Ask yourself, do you want to give them as much control as the giga brains? Or the giga visionaries, the people who can see the future? No, you don't. You don't. If you were going into brain surgery, do you want to disperse the control of your operating procedure to that stinky first-year apprentice? Do you? You're like, no, get out of here. You want to go to the surgeon who orders everyone around, who's in control. He puts on his gloves and says, I'm an actually surgeon. I'm a doc, and I'm here to fix you up. You want that. So you already know this intuitively. But you're not here to make money in the medical industry, right? We're here to make money in crypto, and everybody's new. That's why there's edge. That's why we have edge. Aren't you glad you got a friend who posts stuff like this? Like, what the hell else are we learning from these influencers? They go, oh, wow, did you see the new suit that the president wore today? Wow, that might make Bitcoin go down. All these short-term dopamine hits, they do nothing. They are just summarizing the price action. Look at this. The community is the asset, not the code. From your friend, me, today on Twitter. Once again, if you haven't confirmed your friendship, you better confirm it right now. Our friendship is sacred. No one else is doing this. We're going to read this part together. Without an inspirational leader, people lose their way. Their backs become hunched. They wear crumpled slippers. And they drink room temperature water. You know it's true. All of that is true. Yes, it is. I'm wearing my fluffy slippers right now, and they're tapping away on the floor. You need a leader. Every great coin. So, you already know. Okay, we need powerful leaders. We can go to... There's some of these core coins. You need powerful leaders. There are other coins out there, and that's fine. You might like Doge because you believe in Elon Musk. That's okay. But you know Elon Musk is your edge. If you believe it has edge. That is the competitive edge. Your competitive advantage. Versus other coins who say, we're just going to hand the coin out. We're going to be decentralized and fair. This is just a harsh reality you got to deal with. Because at the end of the day, do you want your bags to pump or not? Do you want your network effect to grow? So in crypto, if you're new here, bags pumping. So yes, price go up because of Metcalfe's law, right? Metcalfe's law says if I increase my user base by N, the price will do N squared. So if I am able to increase the amount of users in my network holding my coin by 10 times, I should get a 100x price increase. They are the same thing. So if you're new here, when I say bags pump, it's not just the fact that we're talking about the price going up squared. It actually means adopt more people and be the winning network. That's what it means. So Metcalfe's law is not a prediction. It is a description. You know how like Apple Einstein said E equals MC squared? It's the same thing. The value of your network is equal to the number of user growth squared. That's the value. That's what happens in crypto. We are not priced like a cash flow asset, extra. Maybe one day in the future it'll change, but right now it's got nothing to do with that. And we know this intuitively. Bitcoin's got value, produces no cash flow. Just like a commodity, like gold and oil. They produce no cash flow, market gives the value somehow. So remember, when people say, oh, you just want the price to go up, it is that, but it's also, remember Einstein's equation, right? Energy is mass times the speed of light squared. It's the same thing in crypto. Bags pump also means I want to adopt more people. I want to be in the winning network. Everyone wants to be in the winning network. The US dollar is the current most powerful winning network in the world. 85% dominance of all trade. 85% of all world volume is done in the US dollar. They're the winning network right now in terms of currencies. Isn't that crazy? So they always want to be number one. So this is what you want to be. You want to be in the winning network. You want to be the winning country. This is what it comes down to. It's all about the community. Nothing to do with the code. That's the community. Network is community. Network is community, and the price going up, they are actually the same thing. You're describing a relationship here. A relationship between variables. So Bitcoin, all of these have centralized leaders. We're going to go through this, right? So Bitcoin starting. You had Satoshi. You had to trust him at the start. Over time, the coins get handed out. The coins get diluted. Same with Ethereum. Vitalik's been dumping over time. The foundation has been dumping over time in Ethereum. In Chainlink, all the rewards were given to the Chainlink Foundation. You have to trust that they keep hiring people around the world, which they have, and they keep expanding, and they get the bug eaters on board, and that they spend all the revenue that they raised from dumping the coins. It sounds horrific, but that's what it is. That's the risk we take. You know, XRP holders, same thing with Ripple. That's their centralized leader. Richard Heart, obvious. Very obvious ones with HEX, PulseX, PulseChain. Very, very obvious. PoorPleb, you have to go to Mr. HEXY bastard. He's the founder. Funny, charismatic, knows his way around crypto, knows how to rally a community. We got the memes, we got the stickers. So before you judge any coin, I just want you to think about it like this. You have to appreciate, okay, there's a group of people and they are rallying behind a leader. You don't have to agree with any of the leaders here. You don't have to agree with them. You don't have to agree with their values, with their principles, with anything. I just want you to know, we're all baby doll friends. I just want you to acknowledge that you can count the circles of people around them, that they're a gathering. Just acknowledge that there are people. You might not like Kim Kardashian, but she's got like 5 million followers. You might not like Kanye West's music, but you know if he's at a concert, he throws his sweaty shirt in the crowd, someone's going to buy it for $2,000 because he has a very powerful network effect. You know this. You absolutely know this. You might not agree with all these famous people, but you know there are people who do and they follow them. It's the same thing here. Some would say it's a beauty pageant. And yes, that's something we have to swallow as well. I told you, get used to swallowing a lot of truths. This is just a beauty pageant. Stocks are also a beauty pageant. You got to follow the CEO. You think you're changing the country. You think, oh, wow, American businesses, dude, yeah, I make my 5%. That's what stock people are like. They're all beauty pageants. You are buying a ticker electronically on the internet, and in your mind, through humans' ability to measure value and the abstraction of value, you think that this correlates to like a certain value perception of what the ticker represents. It could be the logo, it could be the leader, it could be the community behind it, it could be a mix of all those factors, and we rally behind that. And that's all we're doing. We don't actually need any of these, right? So this is what's going on. But the memes are so powerful that good luck fighting it. Look, if you're a bear on the sidelines, you're going to get nowhere. You already know this. We're here trying to understand the relationship. What is the meme? These memes are so powerful. You do need a leader and a founder. Every single one does. And if you notice, the Bitcoin Maxi community, because Satoshi has now successfully dispersed and been diluted over time, they will now poke fun at Ethereum. And they'll say, haha, Vitalik is a scammer. That's what they say. It's one of the funniest memes ever, by the way. There are people who just chant and cheer. They go, Vitalik is a pre-mine scammer. Many of the Bitcoin Maxis say that. I wonder in 5 years when Vitalik's ownership is like so low and the Ethereum Foundation is tiny, maybe in 5 to 10 years, I wonder if the Bitcoin Maxis will still be yelling at Ethereum. Interesting to think about. You know, they don't even bother yelling at everyone else because they're like, you guys are so centralized, it's like not even funny. They don't even bother because they're not threats yet. But one day they will be. But don't forget, they all have a leader and a founder. You need that. You need that for the price pumps. They need to gather around the communities. They need to make communities stronger. So what did you learn today? You learned about leaders and founders being absolutely essential to crypto and companies and everything else. Just because we have elements of decentralization in crypto does not mean your coin and your community is actually going to pump. You need a visionary there to direct everyone. You need someone to rally the troops when they're down. You need someone to bring the roadmap up, to always have someone coming in, to always have some new ideas. You do need that. This is the most important part. Because, you know, you could say, I don't agree with any of this. And that's okay. I'm just here to tell you, we tried the experiment, Habibi. They tried to fork Bitcoin. You see this logo here? That's Bitcoin. You ever heard of it? They tried to fork Bitcoin in 2012 over and over and over again. And then again in 2017. They kept trying different coins, coin names and logos. They handed out so many coins, so many arenas were formed, so many communities were formed, and none of them lasted. None. They didn't have a charismatic founder or leader. They just handed out coins and they're like, hey, let's just see what happens. And they dumped on everyone pretty much. The insiders and founders dumped on everyone. They didn't really believe. But we tried this experiment. It's been done. That's why I'm telling you, we now know. We now know. You might say, hey, this is a pretty grim look, but no, it's not. No, it's not. This is just people. This is people. Where does it all end? I think I can see the future now. Crypto is going to just copy paste everything in society, all the power structures, all the financial structures, everything. However, with crypto, you have the optionality of being transparent. That's the difference. So I'm not even saying that, hey, we're better people or our leaders are better than real life people. We're not. It's the same humans with the same emotions, the same grifters, the same success rate, the same everything. The only difference in crypto is that we can actually see on chain. You can see what happens. We can reveal to you, hey, this person's dumping. A lot of this information that gets accessed. This is why governments they're actually pretty scared of crypto because they're like, crap, everyone gets to see our bank accounts. We can't reward everybody like we used to. But this is what happened with the internet. The governments were scared of the internet when they began. They wanted to use Microsoft's intranet. I don't know if you know this. In the 90s, the government did not want the public internet that we have now. They wanted to use Bill Gates's trash intranet, which was a super controlled, highly filtered internet where every web page that was made had to be approved. That's how garbage it was. Every comment, everything, they had to pre-approve before they put it up. Now, you obviously know, look what the internet, the people chose, hey, let's make it free, let's make it open. But the government was so scared because we lived in a time where people could hide things. But now with the internet, hey, everyone's got a phone now. Everyone can just send information through. They say, hey, if your government is oppressing the people, we're going to know about it. And you know how the story goes. The government finds another way to do it. But for now, we're still pretty early to crypto. So you're going to enjoy this cute Peppy meme. You're going to keep it back straight. You're going to keep eating bananas. And of course, your glass of water will have 3 ice cubes. I don't want to see any of these room temperature stuff. Now is not the time or the place. Focus on the leader. If you don't think that leader's cool and you don't think that leader's crazy enough to get attention, that's what you're going to be looking at for your bags. Your bags aren't going to get attention. Your bags aren't going to be considered as cool. Because in crypto, you always need to stay relevant. Network effects. If they're not growing, they're decaying. Like, subscribe, bell button, all friends. Tell mom and dad that you love them.